Hello guys, Rob Forex here. So in this video, I just want to do a quick market recap, go over the market, look at some setups that I was able to capitalize on, and just give you an insight as to what I'm looking for going forward in the market, right? So first pair we have here, as you can see on my screen, is gold. So gold, let me start from daily. Let me start from the daily on gold, right? We've seen this rebound off of 1730. We've come into this supply zone 1770, right? We've come into that level. Now we're trying to look for maybe a rollover maybe back to 1730. But for now, we're calling shorts into 1745, right? If you look on the daily here, you can see ever since we broke above this 1745 level, we've had weeks trying to push price to the upside, or I've seen momentum coming down. Maybe we would feel these weeks into 1745, right? Going down to the 4-hour time frame, you can quickly see again this level 1770, 1768. We're pushed into, we had this nice pin bar candle and then bearish, right? And that could tell us that okay, we can see momentum coming down. We also had support here at 1750. You can see the first one, rally, weak, push off, weak, push off, weak, push off, false breakout, break back above, and now maybe we could see another rollover to the downside, right? So we've been seeing resistance, false breakouts, push to the upside, and we've been looking for a rollover. We've actually been able to capitalize on a couple of trades. We've actually been able to take 100 pips from this market and another 50 pips from this market earlier today. So that's a total of 150 pips trading gold just this week. And we could still be able to capitalize on gold tomorrow, or today being Friday. We're already in the Asian session. We could be able to take advantage of this going forward, Asia, London, New York. So let's go down to the 1-hour time frame and let's see kind of the setup that I was looking at here. All right, so we had this level 1750 support level, good support level. We had this run through it, and then if we back above to the upside, right? Then if you can see what we spotted here, we kind of spotted this 1, 2, 3, kind of 3 drives, and then it pushed to the downside, right? So if you see, we had one drive here, push to the downside, another drive here, push to the downside, another drive here. We had a push into 1752 today. As you can see, these levels where we had this close of these candles, and you can see when price broke above that level, right, it picked up momentum. So this gave us an indication that if price was to come down, right, we could see price come back into this level to kind of pick up some more orders and maybe go in the opposite direction. So for our shorts today, I was able to get a short. Let me go to the 30-minute time frame so I can actually show you my entry. So coming into today, we had the third drive on price. We had a push to the downside. We had these lows of 1750, right? 1755, sorry, before I confuse people, right? 1755, we had this level of support, one push down, 1755 again into this high, push 1760. We had the rally, but then we had the failure, right? So if you look here on gold, when we came back into 1760, right? If this was really going to take price to the upside, we should have seen a close above these highs, but we started to notice a failure, a swing high failure, or the failure for price to make higher highs, right? So we knew that that rollover into 1745 could still be possible, right? So first things first, when we saw this push the upside and then momentum started to fail, so bearish candle, close below 1760, and this is where we entered shorts, right? Our stops are those highs, and primarily we're targeting 1745. 1745. Right. So this is Wednesday's low. This is Wednesday's low, which we were looking to target at the previous day's low for Thursday. Since that target didn't get hit, then maybe Friday's price action could bring price down there. And that's us looking for about the 150 pips, right? 150 pips there. So looking at this price, looking at price structure again, told you we got short here, we got our shorts from here, moved all the way into 1752. And this is actually where we collapsed our positions for the day, because I like to use a day trading approach to trading, right? Taking profits off of those levels, those intraday levels, because again, we could see something like this where price comes. I prefer a situation where I'm able to get another entry, another short entry into 1745, rather than having to hold through these pullbacks and then another drop. That's how I prefer to trade. So in that regard, I'm able to get maybe 3 entry setups for just one trade if the trade takes as long as it's taking to actually materialize. So this was our trade on gold. Very, very not the simplest because of all of this noise, kind of consolidating, kind of moving sideways. So this kind of market tends to be harder to trade when price is consolidating like this, but they also provide setups, right? If you know what you're doing. And today we're able to capitalize on that setup, 60 pips, 1760, 1752, and now we can see, okay, maybe price have this pin bar. And when we have this pin bar, we have a push and we see price coming back, it could actually fail this week. So we could definitely see price fall from here to 1745, right? Moving forward, let's look at GBPUSD. And let's look at what we have on GBPUSD as well. Going into the 4-hour real quick. So if you see the 4-hour, if you look at the 4-hour, you can just see how we have price, our charts neatly marked out, right? We have this level 362. 362 price came into 362 on Tuesday, made a high at 364, pushed down to the downside. We had this level 357 and 355, right? If I go down to the 1-hour time frame, let's have a closer look at why we chose this level, right? Again, 1.355, we had good resistance here. Price broke out of that, had a bit of a consolidation, proceeded to 1.36, then 1.362, 1.362, 1.364. We had that push to the upside. We had price come back to the downside, right? We had this retest of 1.357 and 1.355. Then we saw a push above that, pullback, failure to continue to lows to the downside, sorry. Had a failure to continue to the downside on GU after retesting 1.355. And then we started to see price make these higher highs. Now we're trying to see, okay, if price is going to run these highs of Tuesday. I expect price to run these highs. I'm going to 365, 1.365. Quickly going to the daily time frame, right? Let's just go into the daily time frame. If you're familiar with other blocks, demand, supply, all of that, you can see we have these levels here, 1.366 to say the least, 1.366, right? where you see this body closes, this equal body closes, and then price slams through that, right? We have price closes. As soon as price breaks this level, it picks up that volume, one bearish day, two bearish days, right? And gradually, price is making it back to fill up that imbalance, right? And then maybe retest this candle, this daily order block, kind of. This is a liquidity zone or a liquidity pool. I would say this whole zone here. So let me take out the body close. So price could come in here, react to the downside, price could come in here, roll over to the upside, right? But this is our target for the meantime, right? Looking at what we are seeing, yes, we have 362. We've had that push the downside, failure, push the upside. And now we're trying to see, okay, if we can take out Tuesday's highs. Going back to the 4 hour, let me try. So looking at the 4 hour, very quick, right? We've seen our reaction off of these levels, 1.355. Seen this whole consolidation, which prices come to retest that. And now we're looking to take out Tuesday's high, come into these highs, these levels here. You can see where these candles had their closes, right? You can see where all these bodies of these candles were closing with the wicks. And as soon as price broke that, we had momentum coming to the market, right? So we're kind of looking for that level to get retested. So this is why we're looking to take out the highs from Tuesday. You can see price has been trending up. This actually looks like a break of structure, right? Looks like a break of structure, pull back, and price should come to the downside, right? But this is actually where sellers get sucked in, right? Sellers can get sucked in if they are not careful, right? Not that you can't get sell trades. Look at this sell, look at this sell, look at this sell, look at this sell. But they're very, very short-term scalps, right? So you should know how you're approaching these sells. Not that you can't make money on these trades, right? I tried going short today in New York, but as soon as I realized the failure of that, I closed out break even, and then I took my long trades. So you should be careful of that. We go further in our courses to break down this kind of setups where you have this advertisement for sellers or buyers to come into the market so that price can run their stops. So we definitely know that if you've seen price sell off as it did here, let's say you're able to get an entry here, you do know that your stops are going to be above here, right? Let's say for some reason you are still holding this trade, saying, okay, maybe to create a new leg to the downside. Now, what do we have here? We have price coming back to your entry, pushing down, and what could we see? We know that stops are above these highs, right? So what could happen is price could come, sweep these highs, come into our level, and then maybe roll over. Maybe, just maybe. So this is what we are looking at in terms of GBPUSD. We're currently long on GBPUSD. I'm trying to see GBPUSD coming to 365. 65 is actually my profit, right? 1.365. If 1.365 is hit, let me look at this. Tuesday's high. We have our Tuesday's high at 1.34. So that should be like another 10 pips. Yeah, 10 pips to get to 1.365. So if we get a 10 pip sweep of these highs, then we'll hit our TP and we'll get moving with our day. So yes, this is our analysis or this is what I'm looking for on GU. This is what I'm looking for on GU. I've gone over GU, I've gone over gold. As you can see, those are the two pairs I'm currently focused on, right? Keeping the charts clean and everything simple, easy to analyze, easy to understand, starting from the higher time frames to the lower time frames, right? And this is how we can really like refine how we trade. And something I want to like reiterate, point out is using key levels and psychological levels. They're very important. They're very important to get your entries, kind of, to get entries, to get your exits and entries, basically, is what psychological levels are good for. So I'll just end this video here because I don't want to get too lengthy. But this is my kind of market outlook on GBPUSD and on gold. Tomorrow or today, sorry, is going to be Friday, right? Today is Friday, so I might not be trading actively. I might just hold my GBPUSD to targets. For gold, I do see gold going down to 17.45 now, but I might stay out of that trade unless I get a good setup in London or in New York, preferably. If our target hasn't been achieved, then we could get some trades into 1745. This is what the setup is looking like at the moment. 1745. Yeah. So this is what the setup is looking like. This is what the trade is looking like. Let's see. Let's see if we get to that level, 1745. In terms of that, you can already see if, let me make an analysis here. We can already look at 1755, right? We've seen that false breakout push up. We've seen price coming below it again. So something we should really look out for is if price continues to hold below 1755, right? Remember, this pin bar has a wick which can easily be filled. If price continues to hold below 1755, as we're seeing here, look at this, in terms of like mitigations and all that other blocks, right? If price continues to hold below 1755, then definitely we could see that roll over into 1745, right? So let's say we come into London on a session and we see price holding below 1755, then we can go to 1745. Or first target 1752 and then lower to 1745. But let's see how the market plays. You cannot put your expectations on the market, right? Let's just see what happens and let's see what plays out. I'll end this market outlook or this market insights here. I wish you guys all the best in your trading, and I'll catch up with you guys later.